any questions?
We need all the naughty kids from that.
Are they really partners for life?
We do say that they are monogamous, so they will actually mate with the same penguin year after year.
That just means they don't want to pay alimony.
I just had to know.
But they do not live with them.
So
They don't live with them all year long. They come back to the same place and mate every year with the same penguin, but they don't live together.
So that's how they
But they don't mate with any other. Were you watching that?
You guys have any questions?
When you go to
What do we feed them? Do you have a guess? What do you think by fish? Fish. I love fish. They like to eat lots of different types of fish, but a lot of times what they love the most here at the aquarium is a fish called capelin. It's about this long, it's kind of thin, but they can eat about 10 of them at one time.
At one time?
It's okay, sweetie.
Do they bite?
They can bite, yeah. He's not.
Wait, no.
But they will eat a couple other things in the wild. Sometimes they'll eat squid, which I think would be really funny to try and watch us swallow a squid. And then sometimes they'll eat krill, which is a really small shrimp.
I do that.
But mostly it's that fish.
That's what I thought she said crow. She said krill.
And who protects the baby? Is it the dad?
Both the parents in this species share responsibility.
Oh.
Yeah.
And are they good parents?
They're good parents, but it's a quick time frame because of the fact that penguins have to grow up really fast in order to survive because they have a lot of predators. So penguins are usually fully independent from their parents at 2.5 months.
Wait, I'm sorry, 2.5 months?
2.5 months old. So their eggs are about the size of a chicken egg, and so that's kind of roughly the size of how small. Not in this species. That's the emperor species, which is what we usually hear most about. Yeah, this species they'll actually have 2 eggs at a time. And they don't have to worry about the cold, so they don't have to carry them on their feet, but they do have to worry about the heat. So what they'll do is they'll dig a little burrow in the sand, and they'll put their eggs in there and kind of stand over it. And then they spend 50-50 in taking care of them. And it's about a 40-day, give or take a few days of incubation time for their eggs. Yeah.
Oh, fur or feathers?
Feathers. They are birds.
Can you pull them up?
It's really hard and difficult too because of the fact that they're so intertwined together. But if you were to put a quarter on his back, there would be about 70 feathers just underneath that quarter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's exactly. So, and the reason it's like that is just to keep them warm in the water. Yeah, this is all feathers that's on them. Yeah, the only place. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
The only place they don't have feathers is on their feet and on their beak.
Austin, the penguin
And right around their eyes. If you'll notice that it's a little pink there, that's because they don't have feathers there.
Like otters?
They actually otters don't have river otters don't have oil, but these birds definitely do have oil. At the very base of their tail, they have an oil gland. So every morning he's chasing a gnat or fly. They'll jump in the water and swim, and then they'll get out and they'll start picking at that oil gland at the base of their tail, and they'll get oil all over their beak, and then they'll wipe it all over their feathers. So it waterproofs them, so whenever they go in the water doesn't penetrate down to their skin.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
He is adorable.
Now, they're fast swimmers, right?
This species can swim about 10 miles an hour.
And what kind is he?
He's an African black-footed penguin. We're very original. They're from Africa and they have black feet. It's like the chin strap, or why do they call it the chin strap? They're not very original when we talk about penguin names.
So it's about go hooligan because of the
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I walked in here like every 15 minutes. I'm like, it's getting
They have very good eyesight, as you guys can see.
yeah, that gnat, unbelievable.
Any other questions, guys?
He's doing very good. He has some
In the wild, they would live about 10 to 12 years. But here, in this setting, we can expect them to live much longer. They can live into their 20s, their 30s sometimes, and every once in a while, we get a recorded casing in different zoos and aquariums of a 40-year-old penguin.
And are you helping with the oil spill?
Since it hasn't actually hit our region yet, we're just gearing up for it. So basically,
pelicans, right?
for sea turtles, pelicans, if it gets as bad as it could potentially get, it goes up into the river systems, river otters as well.
And so are you asking for volunteers?
Should we
We do.
As an environmental conservation group? Yeah.
What about conservation, Nash?
We do. There is all the different websites. I know the big one that's asking right now, I think, is the Seabird Sanctuary. For us, we have a little bit different requirements because we are an entity that you may have to be a volunteer here before you could be under us, but I'm certain if you went independently.
Well, I heard on the television that you guys were helping some of the pelicans, but it takes a lot. I mean, they stay in the system too long.
Yes, and that's the thing. Right now,
Train in order to.
exactly. Our facility is not so much a de-oiling facility. That's not what we're gearing for. We're the afterwards recovery. Exactly. So it's one of those things where we are going to be there available if
In Madera Beach.
we need.
There you go.
Um,
15 minutes.
We want to be there when
He's running.
a lot of we do a lot of sea turtle work here. So the sea turtles, reptiles in general, take a very long time to recover from things. So that's potential for what we're going to do here.
So you don't do rescue and recovery?
Yes.
We will go out and rescue if we get a phone call to go out and do that. But a lot of times it's Fish and Wildlife calling us and saying, can you take something? That's what we do.
Do people pay you to prepare animals that are rescued?
No, we don't, and we're
So
not.
you do
We're not for
full-
profit. Yes,
No, but I mean, you didn't take money for, like,
we do take
let's say
donations.
SeaWorld calls, can you rehab this animal, you wouldn't build those?
No. They may, give us supplies or something like that, but we normally eat most of the cost.
Are they barter or something?
Exactly.
Right, okay.
He's burrowing.
How do they communicate?
Actually, it's very funny because if you heard these penguins, he may not make a vocalization while he's in here, but go home and look it up online. It's the funniest thing you've ever heard. They actually will bray, just like a donkey.
They will?
They honk and then full on hee-haw bray like a donkey.
And
It's
so
the
when they're
funniest
trying
thing.
to find their life partner,
That's what they do.
they do?
Yep. And while it all sounds the same to us,
Just like Ivor.
Notice it there.
braying like a donkey, it sounds just, they all sound the same. But to each individual penguin, they can tell the difference. So they can tell the difference, and that's how they find their babies. If they get separated, that's how they find their mate every year. I'm going to send it back in here, guys. Have any last minute